The first of its kind in the region, the Future Food Beacon's ancient DNA facility has begun development. We caught up with Andrew Clark, Assistant Professor in Archaeogenetics, to tell us more.
The new ancient DNA laboratory at the University of Nottingham will allow us to look at damaged and degraded DNA from a variety of sources. So that might be from archaeological material, sediment cores, herbarium material, other plant material. And the DNA itself can come from a variety of different organisms, so from humans, non-human animals, plants, and also from microbial sources such as fungi and bacteria. And in addition to that, we can use the laboratory to look at environmental DNA. So that's from, say, soil or water samples, and then trace amounts of DNA from other biological materials such as fecal material and hair as well. So for example, we could be interested in how microbial communities have changed in the Nottinghamshire soil with different treatments, agricultural treatments, whether they be weeding regimes or fertilizer regimes, so all sorts of different applications.
As ancient DNA can be used to investigate a wide range of sample types, we took a trip to the School of Life Sciences to explore their natural history collection.
So initially it was straw actually, but it's more than that. It's kind of bark shavings and all sorts of things, but it kind of certainly looks like a mixture of plant species based on what I can see. But yeah, that would be packed full of DNA, I'm sure.
This zoological specimen has been kept as an illustration of how samples can deteriorate when insufficiently preserved. During his initial assessment, Andrew has already found stuffing material from several grass and tree species dating back hundreds of years.
Okay, Andrew, how do you feel about finding your national bird here at Nottingham?
Well, it's quite exciting actually. Yeah, because they're such bizarre birds, but also kind of charismatic as well. So they have, of course, flightless now. They have sort of vestigial wings. I won't poke too much, but there'll be one there obviously and one on the other side. Yeah, and really important culturally as well as sort of part of New Zealand's natural history. So the feathers were used extensively in making of Maori cloaks. And so there's still lots of cloaks around which contain, old cloaks which contain kiwi feathers. So that's super interesting. And they've been subject to a lot of genetic study as well because they're so endangered now that what we have is, in the extant birds, really just a fragment of the sort of genetic diversity that would have existed in pre-European times. And so actually specimens like this are a good opportunity, I think, to look at what sort of genetic diversity may have been around even just a few hundred years ago. So yeah, it's exciting to see my national bird.
So ancient DNA can be used to look at the history of extinct species such as Neanderthals and Denisovans, but can also be used to better understand living species. My own particular research interest is in the history of crop plants, so I'm very interested in how traits associated with domestication have evolved, how they've moved with people, when they moved and where they moved, and ancient DNA can help us address all of these questions. So it's really a unique way to bring together these sort of fundamental questions in evolutionary biology and ecology, as well as these sorts of applied questions that have direct relevance to our future food. In designing the new laboratory, our primary aim is to reduce the scope for contamination. So ancient DNA by its very nature is low copy number. Also, it can be damaged and degraded, and so it's very susceptible to contamination from the modern environment. So the lab itself is a series of 5 interconnected rooms. It has a dedicated entrance room, a changing room, and then 3 clean rooms. And before users enter the lab, they need to don full PPE. So this includes coveralls, shoe covers, hairnet, face mask, and 2 pairs of gloves as well. In the lab itself, we will have separate clean rooms for the handling of samples and then also for the isolation of DNA. The lab itself is fed with filtered air. This also means that the lab is kept under positive pressure. We also have UV lights installed in the ceiling, and these can be turned on after the lab has been used to destroy any DNA that may have been left in the lab. Because of the strict protocols in the lab and the amount of PPE that is worn, it can become quite a claustrophobic place to work. And so to help counteract this, we're installing a number of windows in the lab. So this will help provide a pleasant work environment, but will also allow people outside the lab to look in and see the sort of work that we're doing. The new laboratory will be a world-class facility for the isolation of ancient and environmental DNA, with enormous opportunities for collaboration. We aim for the lab to be up and running by summer 2021 and look forward to providing updates as the build progresses.
As with all the future Food Beacon platforms, the Ancient DNA facility will engage with collaborators both in the UK and across the world. For further details on how to work with us, please visit our website. The Future Food Beacon, exploring new ways of feeding the world.